Good morning, students. In yesterday's class, I began the lesson. I'll do it. I'll do it. Father is Sudha Murthy, wife of Narayana Murthy, who is the founder of Infosys. He is the icon of simplicity. He has uncompromising quality. He is the man who doesn't need introduction. Also, he was very intelligent in his childhood days, and he used to solve the problems of his seniors also. And he had written entrance test for IIT. He passed the examination with high rank. He wanted to join IIT college at Madras. Then he came to his father and asked, Anna, I have passed the entrance test. I want to join IIT. He said to his father. Now, let us continue the lesson. His father, Anna, I have passed the exam. Well done, my boy. I want to join IIT. His father stopped reading the paper. Immediately, his father stopped reading newspaper. He lifted his head, looked at the boy, and said with a heavy voice, "My son, you are bright. You are a bright boy. You know our financial position. I have 5 daughters to be married off and 3 sons to educate. My son, you are a bright boy. You know our financial position. I have 5 daughters to be married off and 3 sons to educate. I am a salaried person. I can't afford your expenses at IIT. He said, I can't afford your expenses at IIT. Afford means be able to spend money. Here he said, I can't afford. He couldn't afford. He couldn't spend money for studying IIT. You can stay in Mysore and study as much as you want. You can study at Mysore, son. You need not go to Mysore. You need not go to join IIT college at Madras. You can stay at Mysore as much as you want. You study here, he said. Who said? His father said. According to his financial position, he was unable to send his son to IIT. Indeed, it was a difficult situation for any father to say no to his bright son. Indeed. What is the meaning of indeed? Indeed means really. Really, it was a very difficult situation for any father to say no to his bright son. To say no for any father feels very unhappy because son was very intelligent, bright candidate among all the students in the school and college, and every time he got first rank, but it is very difficult to say for any father to say no to his bright son. But circumstances were like that. Circumstances. What are circumstances? Financial position is like that. So he was unable to send his son joining IIT. It was common then for the man to be the single earning member with a large family dependent on him. In those days it was very common. There is a big family, only in that big family only man was single. Person was earning money, all the remaining members in the family depending on him. So it was very common. Financial position was, in those days, it was very common. In those days, financial position was very low, and they can't afford expenses to join his son IIT, and single salaried persons are there in those days in the families. So he could not afford the expenses to make his son studying at IIT. His father was sad that he had to tell the bitter truth to his son. His father was very sad. His father was sad that he had to tell the bitter truth. What is the bitter truth? He couldn't afford expenses. Bitter truth is he couldn't send his son to IIT. What is the bitter truth here? He was very sad to say this bitter truth to his son. What is the bitter truth? Bitter truth is he couldn't send his son to IIT. His father could not afford the expenses to make him study IIT. But it couldn't be helped. What it couldn't be helped? Couldn't be helped means what? There was no way of avoid it. There is no way of avoid it. The boy had to understand reality. He had to accept it. There was no way of avoid it. He had to accept it. The teenager was disappointed. He got very disappointed. It seemed his dreams had burned to ashes. What is his dream? It seemed his dreams had burned to ashes. What was his dream? His dream was study at IIT. They were burned to ashes. They all shattered. They all shattered and they all burned to ashes. He was so near to fulfilling his fondest hope, yet so far. He was so near. He was very near to reach his aim, and that means to fulfill his fondest hope. Very fondest hope, and at the same time, he was so far. He was away. How is it possible a person could be fulfilling and at the same time he was away from the fondest hope? How is it possible? What is the fulfilling here? Fulfilling means he wanted to study at IIT. He had passed. He has written IIT examination entrance test. He has passed with a high rank, and he wanted to study at IIT. That is that much of hope is fulfilling. But here at the same time, it was so far to him, almost fulfilling, but it was so far because of his financial position, father's financial position. He was unable to send his son joining IIT. That's why it was so far. That is the meaning. It was so far. His heart sank in sorrow. He felt very unhappy. He did not reply. He never shared his unhappiness and helplessness with anybody. He was an introvert by nature. Introvert means what? Introvert means someone quiet and shy and doesn't want to express feelings with anybody. He was introvert by nature. He was quiet and shy, doesn't want to express feelings with anyone. His heart was bleeding. What is the meaning of bleeding here? Extremely sad. His heart was bleeding. Bleeding means extremely sad. But he didn't get angry with anybody. He doesn't get angry with anyone. He did not reply. He never shared his unhappiness or helplessness with anyone. By nature, he was introvert and his heart was bleeding. Bleeding means here extremely sad. But he didn't get angry with anyone. The day came. Which day? All his friends are going to join IIT at Madras. The day came. His classmates were leaving for Madras. All the classmates were leaving for Madras. They are going to Madras. Now it was called Madras. Now present it was called Chennai. They were taking a train from Mysore to Madras. They were taking by train. They were traveling from Mysore to Madras. They have shared good years in college and school. They have shared good years in school and college together. All these years they have been studying in the same school and college, and they moved together, they read together, they discussed together. All these years they have been studying in same school and college. He went to the station to say goodbye and good luck to them for their future life. So he went to the station. Who went to the station? Narayana Murthy. Murthy also went to the station to say goodbye to his friends. At the station, his friends were already there. He went to the station. His friends were already there. They were excited and talking loudly. They are talking to one another and talking loudly. The noise was like the chirping of birds. Here, other used the word chirping of the birds. What is the meaning of chirping? Sharp, high-pitched sounds made by birds. Sharp, high-pitched sounds made by birds. sharp, high-pitched sounds made by birds, but there were no birds, and their noise was like the chirping of birds. The noise was compared with chirping of birds. They were all excited and discussing their new hostels and new courses, etc. They were all excited. They are very happy and discussing their new hostels and new courses, etc. Here, discussing about, we should not use discussing about, discuss about. After discuss or discussing, we should not use the word about. Discussing their new hostels, new courses. Let us discuss our topic. Let us discuss this issue. Let us discuss that plan. In that way we have to use the sentence. We should not use the word about after discuss. Let's come to the point. He was not part of it. He was not part of it. He was not part of discussion among friends. So he stood there silently. One of them noticed and said. He was silent and he stood there. One of them means one of his friends noticed it and said to him, "You should have made it. You should have made it." What is the meaning of you should have made it? You have to convince your father. You have to convince your father to join IIT. One of his friends asked him. Notice when he was silent, one of his friends noticed and said to him, "You should have made it." That means you should have made it means you have to convince your father to join at IIT. But he was silent. He didn't reply. He only wished all of them. They waved at him as the train slowly left the platform. They waved at him as the train slowly left the platform. He stood there even after he could no longer see the train or the waving hands. So he stood there and as long as he could see and their waving hands, he stood there, and it was the June of 1962. Which year? June month 1962 in Mysore city. Which city? Mysore city. Monsoon had set in and it was getting dark. Monsoon. Monsoon means a period of heavy rain in summer in South Asia. A period of heavy rain in summer in South Asia. Had set in. Set in means begin. Had begun and it was getting dark. Monsoon had begun and it was getting dark. It had started to drizzle. Drizzle means small light drops, small drops. So rain, small drops of rain is falling, and yet he stood there motionless. He stood there motionless without any movement. He stood there and he was silent, motionless, and he stood there near on the platform. He said to himself without anger or jealousy. He said to himself without anger or jealousy. He doesn't have anger and jealousy. He has neither jealousy nor anger. All students from the IIT study well and do big things in life. He said to himself, all these all his friends, all these students study at IIT and they may do good things in future because they are going to become IITians. But it is not the institution. Ultimately, it is you and you alone who can change your life by hard work. So he said to himself, it is not the institution. Ultimately, it is not the institution. Change you. You yourself can change your life. You yourself can change your life by doing hard work. He said to himself, it is not the institution that changes you. You yourself can change your life by doing hard work. He said to himself, he followed it. Probably he was not aware that he was following the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. Actually he doesn't know the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, but unknowingly he had followed it. The philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, what is it? Your best friend is yourself and your worst enemy is yourself. Your best friend is yourself and your worst enemy is yourself means the way of thinking that depends upon your way of thinking. Your life will be depending upon your way of thinking. Philosophy. What is the meaning of philosophy? The attitude of set of ideas that guides the behavior of a person. Philosophy means the attitude of set of ideas that guides the behavior of a person. Later, he worked very hard and focused on one thing, never bothering about his personal life or comforts. Never bothering. He never mind bother. He never bothers about his personal life and comforts. What is the meaning of comfort? A way of living in which you have all the money and possessions. What do you want? What you want. A way of living in which you have all the money and possessions. What you want. He never bothered about his personal life and comforts. He shared his wealth with others. He never used to help of any caste or community or political connections to go up in life. He never used any help of caste, community to go up in his life or any political connections, any political support. He doesn't need to go up in his life. A son of a school teacher showed other Indians it was possible to earn wealth legally and ethically. A son of a school teacher shows what he showed to other Indians. It was possible to earn money legally, ethically, to earn wealth legally. Legally means according to law, following the law, and ethically, following moral values. He had shown to other Indian people it was possible to earn money legally and ethically, following the law and following moral values. He built a team of people who were equally good. He built a team of people, a team who were as good as he. That means as good as he. And he built a team and equally good. That means as good as he. He became a pioneer of India's software industry and started the information technology wave. Pioneer means one of the first people who started software industry. That is one of the first people who started software industry, who pioneer of India's software industry and started the information technology wave. Today he has become an icon of simplicity. He is an icon of simplicity, uncompromising quality. That means unwilling to change his behavior according to situation, unwilling to change his principles, and uncompromising quality, that is unwilling to change his principles means fairness, honesty. He doesn't want to change according to situation, his fairness or honesty. He has fairness apart from being a philanthropist. Apart is preposition, that means in addition to. Apart is a preposition, that means in addition to. Being a philanthropist. Being a philanthropist means this man loves mankind. He wanted to spend money on them. This man loves mankind. For them, he spends money. That is philanthropist. This man has logical thinking, ethical values. He really believes in the motto, powered by intellect and driven by values. What motto he believes? Powered by intellect. If you are intelligent, you have power, and you are getting on by values. If you have good moral values, you are getting on in life. You are powered by intellect and driven by values. He is none other than, who was he? Nagavara Ramarao Narayana Murthy, the founder of Infosys, a leading IT company in the world. He is the Narayana Murthy, the founder of IT company in the world, and Murthy believes that such people are always successful, who follows all these principles, powered by intellect and driven by values, and fairness, honesty, following to earn money, following the law and moral values, such a kind of qualities. Who have such a person, such a kind of qualities, in his opinion, they are always successful. Murthy believes that such people are always successful in their life. So students, you also develop good qualities and good attitude to make your life successful, like Narayana Murthy. After listening to the lesson, you are also, I think, you are also inspired, and read the lesson well, and read the meanings given back of the lesson, and write in your fair notes. Thank you. In the next class we shall meet again.